Welcome everyone to the breakdown here for the EPL Garden State Open. I apologize for this one being a little bit later. I want to make sure that I got it out for you guys. So this one I'm going to split up just like I've done before, but because of the way that this field is structured, this one is just going to be the Dorito side, and then like I mentioned in the other video, it's going to be the snake side. I'll kind of do both sides for the brick here, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So something I can see already is just how good these gaps are. So you have to be really careful because you have the shots coming back in from the towers, but I'm focusing more on the Dorito side on this one. It looks like you have a decent little delay here to be able to shoot into this gap and see exactly, if they look like they were really favoring to go a lot wider, or, what it is that they were trying to do. Now, the issue is because of the little starfish, whatever you want to call it, new bunker, it does block it out. So you don't know specifically how far they went, but at least you can see how many bodies went out that way. So if you only see one body go out, you know that they might be at the tower and or the wedge here. But speaking of the tower, let's go across. And yeah, so this is actually real solid here. It might actually be good just to have these guys cross off the break as well. Because you have that delay to shoot that way, and then you have the delay. I know I said only Dorito side, but I wanted to look at that one too. So shooting into the snake here, you are able to get a good shot that way. Now, what I would say to be iffy about is just how, let me get this here. There we go. Come on. There we go. I was trying to get it to go up and it wouldn't go up. Come on. There we go. So it looks like you are able to shoot over the top of this, but it is completely blind. So because of that being so blind like that, it's going to make it very difficult to be able to control the Dorito side from this tower. So I wouldn't say for this tower to be someone that's going to stay there for a long period of time. And it looks like you don't even really have anything to help out on the snake side other than holding this gap. So if they don't go past there, okay, you can shoot this way, but I feel like the brick might be a little bit better for that anyway. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. So let's move up. I'm going to go first into this wedge, and I'm looking at cross shots that can maybe, yeah, you're pretty safe here. I want to double check this. So if I went up, as long as you're low, and the only way that they can shoot you is someone sitting right here and shooting this gap. But even with that, you might be able to kind of read the paint and then dive across and maybe be okay. So let's go down here, go down a little bit more. Yeah, I don't really like this for really either side. This would be a good kind of launching point to go across is what it looks like. And you can sort of hold the gap here. But again, like if they stay low enough, they can go across. And because of this beam here, they can probably get across without you even seeing them. So this wedge is going to be more of a transitional bunker going into the little starfish and getting into this brick. So let's look at this brick actually, because I'm wondering how good it would be to just send someone right here immediately. So if you send someone here, you have to be, actually you're pretty safe because it's so big of a gap here. So sending someone here, they can hold this gap very well. The issue is that someone can go into the little starfish. I'm going to keep calling it a starfish, by the way, into the plus sign starfish, whatever, without you noticing. So if you come up and you're able to hold this gap, 100%, this is awesome. Once they're past there, this bunker gets really tight really quick because now you have to kind of play whack-a-mole around here with them at the 50. So if they do go wide, then at least you can shoot this gap. But even still, look at that. The Dorito can make the move on the inside unseen and then crawl up, pop up, and shoot you. So this isn't necessarily a bunker that I'd want to go to if they are wide. If they're not wide, coming up to here if they're not past this can, you can sit here and shoot past this can and have eyes of, are they trying to go across, or are you able to stop them from going out wider from the can? But you can at least see what's happening. Just know that it's going to get kind of tight if they do get into here and then crawl up into that 50 Doritos. So let's go back a little bit and look at this can. So if I go across to the can, go down to a normal-ish height. So it looks like there's some cross shots, some blind shots from the tower that can come into here. Also, this brick is able to, they could shoot on the way up, but technically you have the same shot back. They just have it quicker. That's the only thing. So as you're coming across here, they can have the lane established a little bit more. So this might be one of those bunkers that if there is someone coming up that you need to just dive into, and then you can help with the Dorito side. But yeah, I mean, they can see the outside like we saw. Just trying to see if there's anything that maybe they can do, but it doesn't really look like they can do a whole lot from here. Again, the issue would be not someone from the can going out, but it's someone coming up and across into here. So I wonder if maybe even this tower sitting here and shooting into this gap, if they haven't gone wide, is going to be really helpful, because that I feel like might be more of a threat than someone going really wide into the Dorito. Because if they get into this, they crawl all the way down and then they can start wrapping. So, having someone delay to shoot this and then someone coming here to then take up this zone could be a good option. Let's go out to corner here. So as we're going out, let me go back up again to more of a normal height. So this tower and this tower actually both have good shots going into this guy going wide. So the rules say that you can talk until the buzzer. So if you look and see that someone is looking like they're going to run the back line, it might be good to have a code. So that way you tell either this tower or this tower, hey, shoot the blind over the top of the little starfish and shoot into the Dorito corner. Because let's double check. They do have the shot, but if they don't pick it right, then it's going to be dropping too low. If you shoot the deeper shot, then you can catch the guy running the back line. The issue would be is if someone did try to trick you and dove in and then came up into this can. That is a possibility, but yeah, because you also technically have the can shoot this also. So you have a lot of people that are able to have an audible to shoot this deeper shot into the Dorito corner. And as I go out, this one isn't bad to shoot at the snake either. It looks like this might be a little bit more useful down the wire, though, just because you can see the wire. Not that they don't have inside moves, because they do, but at least this way you can stop them from taking the outside and wrapping it a little bit harder. So that could be an option there. Don't worry, we're going to get into the starfish. Let's look here. Let me move a little bit. Okay, so inside shots aren't great. Yeah, as we come around, the can, like we had talked about, can shoot into this outside, but I'm pretty sure this would get really sketchy, actually. It looks like you might be able to stay inside here, but if they take a little bit of a step out, or if there's a little bit of a curve to the shot, then that's not going to be good for you. But I don't think it'd be too difficult to kind of edge out and shoot into there to then dive in. And who can shoot you on the inside? This tower does have a shot into here. You might be able to kind of avoid it. Technically, the brick here can also shoot it. But it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that's really stopping this movement down the Dorito side. So let's move a little bit more. I want to look at the snake as we move up. So this Dorito is inset. So the reason why that's important is if you did take the inside route, so if you came this way, so you went here and then came up into this Dorito, like let's say you put this guy in and this guy in, or someone's posted down the wire, this inside move, they're not going to know. And then even still, you can hug this and stay out of the way of someone shooting down the wire. So that is something, if you're playing this corner, that it's going to be difficult for them to know specifically where it is. So having some sort of like a blue alert or danger, so that kind of a call is going to be pretty important here, just because you don't want it to be that you are allowing them to kind of get crafty. If you make it where everyone is playing nice and tight, then you should be okay. But this definitely does seem like a pretty aggressive. Like there's a lot of options here. Like technically, you could even, depending on if they're shooting this way, I mean, you still have to worry about these two guys, but you could technically go across, maybe even dive into the starfish and then crawl up, or, crawl up this way if you use, I mean, you'd have to come out pretty far to block this guy out. So it'd be sketchy, but what I mean is that you have a couple different options. If someone's down the wire, then you're okay. I'm not saying that that's one that you should do, but getting creative over here on this Dorito side is definitely going to be helpful. Let's move into this next Dorito. So obviously we can see that the snake has shots into you, so you have to be mindful of that. This is where shooting down the wire, just to check off this guy right here, is going to be important. But also, you need to be careful if someone is here, because the second that you come out a little bit, if they're posted down the wire, they're going to be able to shoot you. It wouldn't be someone, I don't think it would be, well, I guess technically they could be sitting right here. The issue is that, you can kind of, wrap real quick and shoot into that player and, be able to clip them. Yeah, I don't know so much about that. But this 50 does look pretty good. Yeah, because once you're here, it's kind of difficult to stop someone from going all the way into the 50 once you're in this this next Dorito. Let me just see the 50. I know we're going to go back to the starfish and look at that crawl, but I wanted to look here. So be mindful of the snake, 100%. Look at that. Oh, those shots are ridiculous. Look at this. So coming into here, if you show too much, this guy's going to be able to get you. If there is someone in this wedge, you have to be careful of that. If there's someone in the brick, they're going to be able to catch you here. They have to live behind their gun, though. But the thing is that it's such a big bunker, they can tuck back. And if you try to take off, they can shoot here. Now, it looks like you might be able to stay low, use this little Dorito to block you out, and then crawl up. Now, obviously, you can't do that if there is someone right here. So don't do that. But try to use this. This is one of those fields that you're going to see the really high IQ players doing well, because they're going to use all of these bunkers to their advantage and try to block people out and make sure that they are doing the best they can to kind of mess with players. This next gap does look kind of difficult. If there is someone in the Dorito side or in this can, it's going to make it tough to go past here. But people are going to have to worry about you, because if you come here into this Dorito, you have a little bit of a blind into that brick, a blind into the snake corner. So what I mean by that is shoot over the top right here, and it would drop right in. Looks like we have something else here. So over the over the starfish to shoot into the Aztec, you can kind of pop out and maybe surprise this guy. If you stay low, this is where you could really surprise them. If you stay low, you can actually wrap. They can be shooting up over the top of you, and you have this Dorito. From this Dorito, you have this tower all day, and then this guy, and then you can just come up into here, and then you can really do some damage. So this Dorito side looks nasty in a good way. Let's look at the starfish. So I wanted to look across here. So we know that from that wedge, they can shoot into this gap, as well as the brick. It's not from anywhere else. I mean, technically the Aztec, you could send someone there, but I'm not sure about how effective that's going to be. It also looks like from here you could wrap and maybe bounce it off the brick into that player. But let's look here and get into the starfish here. So something that I noticed actually last weekend at practice was trying to figure out where they are in the starfish. So sometimes it's going to sound like they're here and they're actually here. Or, you know, like I saw people where they would jump over the top and sometimes they got it right and they were in that spot. Or there's times they shot to completely the wrong spot and the guy's actually over here and it just goes boop and then, you know, gets that shot there. So just try to listen a little bit and hear where is it that the shots are coming in from. I don't think that's going to be the case here because of the fact that they're further down. Maybe snake side, we'll see a little bit more of that. But yeah, the Dorito side, I mean, yeah, I just don't really, I don't see that being too much of an issue, at least on this layout. Let's crawl into, yeah, once you're actually, ooh, this might not be a bad spot to help support your Dorito side. It's going to get kind of sketchy. So if they get into here and crawl in, it's really rough for you. But if you have someone else here, this might be one of those, it's a two-man operation with the understanding that this guy might get bunkered out. You can't do anything to stop them once they're here to crawl all the way down, other than having someone here to wrap. So if you can stop them from filling out, then this isn't a bad spot to get to shoot into here, into this gap, to stop any movement out. And then if you already have someone in the 50 Dorito, they can be wrapping. And then if there is someone, let's say in this Dorito here, you can actually help with shooting this way and then maybe even bounce it off this Dorito into the outside there. So pretty solid, actually. This might not be a bad spot to help out. Now, I just want to double check and look. So you do have that same shot from the brick. Let me just double check. Again, what I'm looking for here is how to support. Like if I'm playing in that kind of 2 role on this Dorito side, I want to make sure that my guys are covered. So don't really have it there. You do have it from this can, so this can wouldn't be bad to shoot and do that same job. So I don't know it's necessary to have 2 people in here. The thing that would help is if you had someone else here, if they had the move to come up, is that if this guy gets shot out and he trades with this person, you already have someone that can then take over and wrap and then keep putting pressure on them. So I do like that. I just want to look at pausing here for a minute. This is going to be one of those, like, you're just trying to get crafty. I don't see a reason to go over into this Dorito other than maybe to try to hop over and maybe bunker that guy. But it seems like it'd be safer to crawl and then wrap around here. So definitely some interesting shots here. So props to EPL for coming up with a crazy Dorito side. Make sure that you guys are watching for the other one on the snake side, so that way you get a whole picture of everything. And if you are coming from there, thanks for watching. If I'm going to see you there in a bit, I'll see you there. Thanks. Watch, learn, win.